They used to say no one ever stayed a full night in the house on Makara Hill. It stood there for years, alone, forgotten, its roof slowly collapsing, windows shattered and walls covered with creeping moss. But still, it watched. People spoke of lights flickering inside long after midnight, of cries echoing through the valley when the wind was still, and of strange shadows moving behind the curtains. They say a girl once screamed there, and no one ever found her, until the day two siblings, Mercy and Momanyi, found themselves trapped in that very house. Mercy, 14, was sharp like a thorn. Her little brother Momanyi, 11, followed her everywhere, even in trouble. That day, they went hiking up Makara Hills, chasing butterflies and adventure. But by noon, dark clouds covered the sky like a warning. Thunder growled. Rain fell in angry sheets. "We need shelter," Mercy shouted. That's when they saw it, the old house with a broken wall and a door swinging in the wind. It stood alone, like it had been waiting. They ran inside. Just as the storm broke, drip drop, the roof leaked. Shadows moved in the corners. Mercy pulled out her phone. "No battery," she sighed. Momanyi checked his phone, but there was no signal. They were alone. The house smelled of damp wood and old smoke. A huge crack ran down the main wall. Spiderwebs hung like curtains. The kitchen had broken plates on the floor and a kettle full of dust in the living room. "Let's look around," Mercy said, grabbing a broken torch from a shelf. It flickered weakly, but just gave enough light. They moved from room to room. One had drawings on the wall, hearts and stars drawn in charcoal. Another had children's shoes under the bed, still dusty but untouched. Then they reached the upstairs hallway. It was cold, too cold. Back at home, the sun had set, and the children were still missing. "Mercy never stays out this late," their mother said, pacing the floor. Their father picked up his phone again. "Both their phones are off," he said with a worried face. Panic grew. Neighbors joined the search. The local chief was called. By midnight, the family had reported them missing. The whole village whispered. They went toward Makara Hills. Old men shook their heads. "That place swallows people," they said. The rain kept falling. The house creaked and groaned. The door wouldn't open again, no matter how hard they pulled. "We'll have to sleep here," Mercy whispered. They made a bed on the couch with an old curtain they found in a drawer. Mercy gave Momanyi her jacket and held him close. The house moaned like it was breathing. At midnight, they heard it. "Mercy, Momanyi." A soft voice, like wind through leaves, but it came from inside the house. They sat up. "Did you hear that?" Mercy asked. Momanyi nodded, shaking. "It knows our name." The voice called again. "Come find me." They tiptoed back upstairs, holding hands. In the last room at the end of the hallway, they found an old bed. Its frame was broken. The mattress was torn. Then a knock came from under the bed. Momanyi leaned down and screamed, "A hand! Bones!" A red dress clinging to a skeleton. They tried to run, but the door slammed shut. It was locked. "Mercy!" Momanyi cried. "We are trapped." Mercy looked around. The mirror on the wall had fogged up, and in the mists a message appeared. "He buried me. Find the ring." As they shook, they dug under the mattress and found a silver ring tied to the bones with a thread. Mercy held it up. The wind screamed, then calmed. The door creaked open. The next day, they returned with the police and their grandmother. The bones were still there. Near the edge of the house, just behind the bushes, the police made another shocking discovery. A half-buried skeleton of a man, bones scattered and cracked. His shirt was torn. His ribs had marks, deep teeth marks. "Hyenas!" the officer muttered. The villagers soon realized the truth. It was Omosh, Nyakanga's boyfriend. He had killed her in a fit of jealous rage. People said she was planning to leave him, to study in town, to start a better life. He couldn't take it. He strangled her in anger and buried her under the bed. Days later, guilt and fear ate him from the inside. He wandered around the house like a ghost himself, until the forest took him. He died alone. The wild animals found him. As the police combed through the house, an officer found something hidden under a loose floorboard, a small folded piece of paper, sealed with a black string. It was a letter. The letter read, "To anyone who finds this, I did a terrible thing. I didn't mean to hurt her, but my heart was sick with jealousy. She was going to leave me. I couldn't bear it. I hear her voice in the walls. I see her eyes in the dark. I cannot live like this. May the spirits forgive me. I buried her here where we first kissed, under the bed where she used to dream. Don't let her stay here forgotten." Everyone went silent. Even the birds outside seemed to hold their breath. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the Makara Hills, Mercy and Momanyi stood near the house one last time. The wind was still. Then they saw her, a young woman in a red dress, standing at the window of the upper room. She didn't speak, she smiled. Her face was peaceful now. The sadness was gone. She slowly faded into the light. Mercy held her brother's hand and said, "She is free now." And from that day, the house stopped crying. Birds returned, flowers bloomed, and the wind in Makara Hills no longer screamed. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, bye.